Okay.
Those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men.
That's better option if you do it, a lot safer, I think.
All right. Welcome to the 231st episode of the World Blockchain Roundtable. I'll cut through the hosts, guys. So our hosts for today are I Am For I Am over on my left here, and who is still the remaining, he is the long reigning emperor of social media and Den.Social as its center. We have Zach and Andrew from the and look, we have Greg, it was just added. We have Zach and Andrew from the Legacy Right podcast and several other things. And Zach has a new setting, which is awesome. And then we have Greg from Rivet just appeared. We'll see if Sean shows up or Lisa. I don't know if they're here today or not. And I'm Joe from Dragon Chain, Joe Dragon. And I have one thing, if I can say it, because I have to leave early. And then we can, you guys, I'll leave it to you guys. Plus, it'll even up the space. It's very uneven right now with 5 people here. So, I just wanted to remind everyone that Meme Asylum just launched. Very exciting stuff. There is some really interesting. Read the white paper. That's the most important thing right now. It's out there. It's moving. I think we're going to start doing some marketing and stuff soon. It's all been very organic.
So we can all play with the toy already?
Oh, yeah. It's out there now. Now, the cycles, the group sessions have not started yet. Those will start sometime in the future. It might be sooner than this. I'm hoping that it starts on a full moon because of the lunacy factor, but who knows? The full moon will be within either way. So maybe it could, either way, we'll figure it out. But
within at least a couple weeks, right?
I think that the next full moon might be the beginning of November though. So we might have to wait.
Right around Halloween.
Around Halloween.
Yeah. So we wanted to launch before Halloween because it's a very Halloween-ish type game concept. So, but definitely pay attention to that because it's gonna be crazy and it's going to be actually a lot more interesting than I originally expected. So, pay attention to that. And I need to take off because I have to write up a whole bunch of stuff and I have a couple of calls and apologize to you guys, but thank you.
Go disrupt the universe, man.
Right on, right on. We'll talk soon. I need to talk into you, Greg. So,
and happy Oktoberfest.
Oh,
happy
always
Oktoberfest.
As I shall continue.
I have one more downstairs of the German beers that I got for that, so I need to have that last one was actually, if anybody sees, those are good. I can't remember what brand was that. Wasn't it
Sapporo from Japan?
No, it wasn't. We'll have a different. I think we have a different episode for that, probably, right? Where we can have nothing but anime. All right, all the memes will be anime. All right, but anyway,
One Piece.
Thanks a bunch, and we will free run, and we will talk soon. All right, thanks, guys. Bye.
Cheers, man.
Oh, there's the answer he was looking for. Wihenstafener.
Or whatever.
Nice.
I don't speak Italian.
Well, Greg, Zach, Andrew, we got a show for you. And I'm going to be the teacher today.
Time for me to leave.
Teacher, you are not excused. But if you do interrupt me, I will send you directly to the principal's office. Do you hear me, D Nice?
I'll make that. I'll help you. I'll help you.
Let's see. There's Balake. D Nice. Let's see. Who are you know who I'm talking about, right? Keenan Wayne, where he's a substitute teacher.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Balake, D Nice. Man, I can't remember all the names now. Anyway, now today's topic and show is I'll add to the stage. It is episode 231, and I don't remember nominating. I don't remember posting this as a theme, but I guess I did eons ago, and I won. Where we talk about the differences between the OG blockchains, DAGs, and Hashgraphs, and how they're different. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to give the simpleton view with some metaphors to explain it, and then we'll jump into the questions. Cool. But this is episode 231. It's a weekly show. Can you believe it? How many years we've been doing this?
It's pretty nuts.
And this is not an endorsement of any kind of drink. We are not sponsored, but I got poopy.
Nice.
It's actually poppy, but it's what is it? Prebiotic soda with 5 grams of sugar. So this is cherry limeade instead of a beer on Oktoberfest. That's what I'm going to have. Because I don't have a Stein anymore. It got crushed in a move. Hear that?
Huh.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
I mean, at least it's not Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
It sounds like a healthy motile bowel pouring into a glass.
But anyway, so shout out to everyone there celebrating Oktoberfest for the month of October. This is October 23rd, 2025. And the World Blockchain Roundtable show where we talk about blockchains, blockchain solutions. And this is a DAO show where it's the longest, oldest DAO running podcast in the world, in all the world, to quote Nacho Libre. So there we have it. We're going to go into this topic, but before we do, I would like, if you don't mind, go into Satoshi Sean has just entered the building.
Oh man, now we're not even.
We're not even. Where's Lisa? One of us has got to clone each other or clone ourselves, so we can balance out the 6, right?
I don't know. 3 on top, 2 on the bottom. It looks all right.
Yeah.
Can we just put up a screen share of like somebody's still image as another frame? Because we can just do that.
Yeah. And
Andrew, you're on that.
Oh, Andrew.
Yeah.
The Zach.
Clone yourself.
Actor spoken. Sean, how are you today?
I'm all right. How are y'all doing?
Good.
PG.
Good. Glad you could join us.
Good.
So you ready to talk about DAGs, Hashgraphs, and blockchains?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me go first into. I have an old write-up that I recovered last night and got ready. Let's see here. Bear with me. I didn't have this one ready yet, like I thought.
That's all right.
Here it is. To the stage, teacher in the house. This is just 4 pages that we're going to talk that I had put together a long time ago about what the difference was between these three. It's very dry, but I'll try to make it interesting, including metaphors. So are we ready to dive into this so we can understand the basics? Then we can tackle the questions.
Before we jump in, can I
Sure.
throw out a couple little sort of heuristics that people can use as we read through it to understand each one sort of generally?
Yeah.
Because one of the ways that you can think about these is pretty simple. There's like a metaphor. If you want to think about a linear chain, like a linear series of single file events that are locked in place immutably, then you need a blockchain. If you have a web of arrows instead of a linear path, right, you get a directed acyclical graph. And then if you take that piece and extend it to have a gossip protocol, or just like where it just chatters, then you get a hash graph.
Yes. You're stealing my thunder.
Anyway,
way to go. Thanks, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's essentially what you're doing is you're picking your poison for the need that you have, or shall we say the tool that you need for the job, right? And so the first one, of course, is the OG, the blockchain. All the famous ones like Bitcoin, the first mover, and Ethereum, and Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin, and others. And I'm just throwing those out there, and because there's thousands more than that. And there's pros and cons to each of these different types of blockchains. Like, one is, the OG blockchain, the blockchain that we're all familiar with and we talk about the most. It's the reliable one. It's a little slow, but it's reliable. It's tamper proof. It's not like you can get in there and hack it and destroy it or change it or delete, information on the blocks, because once the blocks are written, they're permanently written. You would have to control the miners, 51% of it, to change it or alter it. Extremely difficult to do, especially with Bitcoin. It would take you too much energy, too much money to probably not be worth it.
William, real quick.
Yes.
Sean wants to back in real quick. Sorry.
Sean, what happened, Sean? Sean,
you kicked me out. What do you?
Did I kick you out? Really?
Yeah. You put me in the back room. I was okay.
I am
crowded,
so sorry.
mister.
I am so sorry.
It's okay.
I meant to do that to Zach. Okay, so anyway,
I don't believe it.
Bitcoin is slow. It's only 7 transactions per second, generally speaking, and so are the other ones. But we can use like a metaphor that Greg was talking about, the single file line, like at the coffee shop, I'll take a double latte grande and then move over. And the next person comes in, I'll just take a blondie black. And the next person comes in, each person representing a block, just a linear progression, a linear line, like formed in, at the coffee shop. You could also think of it. This is my favorite.
I get a venti. I get a venti, not a grande.
Yes. We'll put your name on the cup too, Zach.
I always use fake names still. It's hilarious.
Oh, do you?
Fake names are the best.
I see. You'll won't punish me, or you'll punish people. You punish
sometimes I call myself Ashley just so they yell out a girl's name.
Oh, no way. And you get a phone number written on the cup, right?
Yeah.
I like
actually
one time pronounce, like from Lord of the Rings.
One time me and my buddy Zach, how ironic, we walked in there, we put fake names on there. I forget what he put, but he did put a girl's name on there, and he got it back, and there was a phone number on it.
Well, anyway, blockchain can also be thought of as a conga line. The da 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 da.
Yeah, it's actually a lot like that.
Yeah, it's
just
a
so you
conga
know,
line.
she was cute.
Right?
Yep.
So that's a good
the final beat
metaphor to
of
describe.
each loop is the block time, basically, in that case.
Yeah. You like that one, Greg?
Block 1. Block 2 is head.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So it's just a straight line, and each dancer in the line is a block. And so that's the metaphor of the OG. The big one that we always talk about is blockchain. Now, the important thing to remember, people, and I know this is very basic, but Bitcoin is not blockchain, and blockchain is not Bitcoin. Bitcoin is on a blockchain. That's the difference. And everyone sometimes thinks that Bitcoin and blockchain is just, the same name for the same thing, or different name for the same thing, but it's different. And the consensus, of course, is proof of work.
Kind of like in the South, everything is Coke.
Yes.
Annoys me.
Yes.
Like
Not soda.
or...
Yeah, not soda, not pop.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my.
Well, that's because in the South they're doing a lot of cocaine.
No.
I'm having a Coke of the Mountain Dew variety right now in that version.
I remember first I went to a barbecue.
I'm having
we moved to Texas.
I'm having a black soda.
We got so many Cokes. Like, okay, like 22-liter bottles.
Shasta?
No, we got Sprite and Dr. Pepper and Big Red. I'm like, what? Coke?
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, at least they're not calling it Sody Pop.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't know how that one got. I think it probably started out as soda pop, and then there was a fork in the blockchain, and half of the group went to soda, and the other one went to pop.
Yeah,
and then
the different idioms are in fact
Coke.
forked protocols.
All right. So anyway, that's the typical blockchain that we all know and we talk about mostly. The next one is Hashgraphs. Famous Hashgraph, of course, is like Hedra or HBAR. Now I'm not going to go. Remember, I'm just naming these different protocols. I'm not endorsing any of them. Do your own research. I'm not your daddy. So the pros and cons in this one, of course, is it's more like a council that is making a decision. So it's less decentralized than the other type of blockchains could be considered.
Is it ecumenical? Is it like an ecumenical council?
No, I don't know what that is. Zach, what is?
Well, no, because they're trying to canonize something in that case. That's a lot more like a block time taking place and block processing, right? Because if your goal is canonical product, then in comes noise, out comes linear, right? So you get yourself a blockchain type setup there.
Poor Zach tried to tell a religious joke.
No, it was a good metaphor, honestly.
Yes, but it was a failed joke.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it went over my head. It went over my head
too.
I'm on a different chain. All right, so the best part about Hashgraphs is the speed. It's ultra fast, 100,000 transactions per second. It has no blocks, and it's processing in parallel, at really high speeds. Kind of think of it like strings on a guitar, right? And there are no minor advantages with a hash graph. It's extremely energy efficient, but it's so fast. And the nodes are shared virally with, like votes. It's like virtual voting. And that's how the consensus is made. And the best metaphor for hash graph is like a viral rumor at a party. And this is what Greg was talking about. So if there was let's say we're all in a party and there's 100 of us crammed in this little tiny living room or something, and the music's blasting, and someone sends a rumor that, I don't know, Zach's pregnant. And then everyone else starts talking, Zach's pregnant.
I am.
And the rumor goes all over the place.
Congratulations, Zach.
That's what happens when you go to the coffee shop and say your name's a female name.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually where they should send people after the
how ecumenical of you, Zach.
Ecumenical. Oh, this is pick on Zach. I'm
Surprise!
so sorry, Zach. Can you handle it? Can you hang?
Yes.
So anyway, the host party, the party host, or the person who owns his house, you know, they're you know, you can this rumor continues irregardless of who is the boss. But the rumor goes viral about Zach becoming pregnant or being pregnant. And so it moves very quickly through the whole party
aliens.
as a rumor. Everyone's whispering it, and next thing you know, it's just spread virally through the entire party or the entire chain. So that has essentially how a hash graph is the metaphor, the best description. And it is an asynchronous Byzantine fault tolerance is how its consensus type is, or it's also called ABFT, right? But it's virtual voting.
Interestingly enough, the way that consensus spreads on blockchain nodes mirrors this behavior. That's why anytime you run two blockchain nodes behind a load balancer and you query that endpoint, sometimes you get back mismatches on head revision. So if you query for head and one of them still hasn't gotten the whisper of the current latest block and it accepts it after validating, right? Like that behavior happens passively inside of blockchains too.
Right.
So, yeah.
Just that's where you see what would you see it? You'd see it all the time. Like I remember on Pivx and Dash or something, there was kind of like missing blocks, shall we say? Yeah.
It creates an illusion of missing blocks. So you imagine like send in query 1 to get the head revisions details, right? And it returns some numbers like head revision is block 2, right? Say we're at block 2 when you make the first query. And then the second query that happens in your program happens right at the boundary line between block 2 and 3. And the second query goes to your other node and it hasn't heard about block 3. But the one that it hasn't heard about block 3 yet, right?
Right.
So if you ask block 2, or if you ask the first node for block 3 details, assuming it's the head revision, and it's still on block 2, it's going to return no such block, right? Because this little whisper protocol hasn't spread the head revision across the entire network of actual nodes. But it's not.
It hasn't heard the rumor about Zach yet.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't formalize automatically like blockchains in this case, but blockchains all have to do this process anyway. It just falls out of the ordering that you get from the linear system.
Right. Right.
You know what to say, buy the rumor, sell the news.
That's it. It.
I blame Ethereum for getting me pregnant.
Oh my goodness.
That dirty girl.
All right, so we're going to move into DAGs, our last one, directed acyclic graphs. And of course, the famous ones are Nano, IOTA. Boy, I was a big fan of Nano for a while. How about you, Sean? I know you remember this, and we talked about it before on the show. Yeah.
IOTA was huge.
Yeah.
I think IOTA was the one. They paid people $9,000 to sign up for their newsletter, their email. You signed up for their email and you got a like an airdrop, and like when they were launching, and it was like 9,000 IOTA, and it went up to like $100 a coin or something like that. So you got people just for signing up for the email, like all those people got like 10 grand. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But that was the Internet of Things, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
that was what it was supposed to be.
That was a lot of contention and on Facebook when that was kind of going out. I know Tho Bishop from the Mises Institute was kind of talking crap about it. So after a while,
well, it dispenses with the finality and immutability element, right? Like this is not tamper proof. at all.
Not
Yeah.
to.
And that's but it gains a lot of performance capability. So in low stakes environments where tampering is a waste of everyone's time and no one would bother, right?
Right.
When you think
Right.
about really low cost but high volume applications where everybody's doing something mundane and it doesn't matter if you're wrong, you just wait for another round to get it right. You know, these things are really powerful because they can give you a lot of the programming primitives and assumptions of blockchains without having the overhead.
Right. I think IOTA was launched like in 2017. I remember,
Yeah.
you know, I would check the blockchain.
About that,
I'd check
yeah.
the coin market cap, you know, several times an hour. I remember going to bed late, like on a Friday night and looking at it and, you know, looking at the top 25 or 100 or something. And then getting up the next morning, all of a sudden there's this number 6 IOTA. It's like, how in the heck did this come from nowhere to number 6 overnight, like in 8 hours? I was so shocked. But it had its issues. I remember they had, you know, the private keys. You could put your own private keys. So people like, I don't know how to think of 12 words randomly. And then there was people that were out there scamming people saying, oh, go to this website and it will generate 12 random words for you.
Yeah, no.
And so people are going to this
and store them in a
website,
database
give
that
me
I
12
keep.
random words. And now this scammer had everybody's 12 random words. You know, they're probably the same 12 random words for everybody. I don't know.
Don't use
But
brain
anyway,
wallets either for this sort of thing. Do not. Every single. Actually, this is true for all of them. If you want to go have some fun digging up potential wallets that you might be able to exploit, just go on ChatGPT or Grok and say, give me a long list of 12-word sentences, and then just spam them in. You know, and you know, if you want to, you can even include a vocab list that includes only BIP 31 words, right? Which is the list that you draw all those mnemonics from.
But
I remember when somebody selling ledgers on Amazon was putting in a little insert.
Yes,
these are your 12 words, and so many people were just setting up their wallets and, you know, setting that you know, that wallet up and then sending all their money to it.
Yeah, exactly.
I know
horrible.
Somebody had advanced programmed an Ethereum wallet in such a way that you could take the money out if you were the person that programmed it, but you had to send the money in first. And they said, well, I can't, I don't want this. So people thought they could just take it and leave. And they were just basically getting scammed. So,
yeah.
I almost, because I've, you know, worked on a lot of projects. And then whenever you do, I don't know how they know, but scammers hit you all the time. And they'll set up an account as like the CEO or as someone else part of the project. And they're like, hey, I can get us listed on Binance, but they want a Bitcoin and a half. Send it to me. And, you know, it's ridiculous. You know the person. There's no chat or anything. And they're like, oh, this is my other account that I use for personal stuff. And so I started messing with them. I'm like, man, I'm going to scam one of these scammers. I'm going to get money from them. So I'm like, yeah, I can't send you that Bitcoin until you send me 0.1 Bitcoin. You know the protocol, man. And I almost, and then I started having fun. It's like, you know, since you killed that hooker and I had to pay the cops off in Guatemala and send the money for that, I said, you told me that we have to do it this way.
Right.
And I almost had a guy, he was just about to send me that 0.1 Bitcoin, but still haven't been able to scam the scammer.
Wow. Well,
so hold on. Let me get this straight. For Bitcoins, somehow somebody became you became Ted Kennedy? I'm confused. You said killing hookers.
Yeah, because they would pretend like, hey, I'm the CEO. Send me 1.5 Bitcoin so I could pay to get us on Binance or whatever. And so I would say, hey, man, you know I can't do that since you killed that hooker. And they're like, yeah, I know, but this time is different. You know?
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's when, Sean, when you lived at that cabin on Lake Chappaquiddick, right? Anyone know that reference?
Yes, that was
nice. Sorry. All right. So anyway, the pros and cons of a DAG is, the transactions are essentially the users are the network. So it's fast. It's 1,000 transactions per second. The issue is obviously if there are not very many people using it, there's very low activity, then the whole DAG starts falling apart. Right. And it's difficult to search on. So there's no blocks, there's no miners. You are the miner by validating it. Now I got a good metaphor for the DAG. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's like a family tree branch, and it's just grows like crazy. Limb after limb separates into another limb, and the family gets bigger and bigger. Tree roots. The ants can go up and down, like search it very quickly, as long as all the branches are there and connected, meaning there's still a lot of active users, right? So it becomes a stronger, faster consensus network, but it requires a lot of people being active on it.
Yeah. It also has a pretty, especially if there's not a lot of people using it, has a pretty high exposure to Sybil attacks.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So that's why it's real risky if there's low activity on the network. But
basically, you can get a whole bunch of friends and go take over the network and rewrite it.
Yeah.
So, or simulate a whole bunch of friends.
Yeah,
like with sock puppet type of interactions in parallel.
Now the DAG is another way of thinking about how it reaches consensus. I like this one as a metaphor. It's really easy to understand. It's like a potluck dinner. If we're all going, to bring our own dishes to the potluck, we are the users on the DAG, right, with our own dish. And I bring pot roast, and Zach brings mashed potatoes, and Andrew brings something, and Greg and Sean, you each all bring something different. And we start sampling each other's dishes, and oh yeah, that's mashed potatoes. Oh, that's potato salad. I validate that is potato salad. Oh, I validate that this is a dessert. That is what essentially how a DAG reaches consensus. That this is a food plate. It was on the list maybe as a type of food item that could be brought to the potluck. It's been validated by a taste tester, by several taste testers, and that's basically how consensus is met on a DAG.
Right.
Think of it as the potluck.
Right.
The potluck in a
consensus
tree.
Being state agreement in a state machine instead of a dinner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, so now that concludes me as your substitute teacher, since Joe is not here. Man. And so now we know the three different types of blockchains: just the block, the conga line, the hash graph, is that guitar string, right? And it's super fast. And then the DAG is, of course, well, I like the potluck consensus idea, but the hash graph is a rumor that Zach is pregnant.
Yep.
So,
and Hashgraphs and DAGs kind of play nicely together because one of them essentially has the ability to relay the news if you've got a high enough volume, essentially. But the hash graph can give you rumor in parallel. The hash graph and a DAG can actually parallel each other pretty readily.
I'm gonna break this rumor. Remember Orlando Jones from that Evolution movie, the blooper towards the end of the credits when he's in the hospital bed and he's pregnant in his ass from the aliens?
No, I don't remember.
You never seen Evolution? It's such a corny
Evolution.
movie,
That's a fantastic film.
The Evolution.
Corny, it has the 7-Up Yours guy in it.
Yeah.
Wait, which one is this one?
Hilarious.
The one where they fight aliens with Head and Shoulders shampoo.
Yep.
Yes,
that's the one.
Yep. That's the one.
Selenium sulfide.
Yep. Brilliant.
It's actually my co-founder Austin's favorite movie. So
I gotta say, you're a great substitute teacher. The last one I had, they screamed at the top of their lungs because it keeps your kids quiet.
Thanks. Thanks, Andrew.
Go to the principal's office, Andrew.
Andrew. See if I can. All right. So let's go back to add to the stage. So now we're ready. Now that we understand the 3 different types of blockchains, now we can answer the questions. Sound good?
Groovy.
All right. So, well, there's your picture image of the different types: a blog, a DAG, a hash graph, and a blockchain. All right.
DAGs are the prettiest ones, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. So this question was teacher in the house. I put this in here so that I could pull that up and explain what the 3 were. So this really wasn't a question. Do you know the difference? So now we know the difference. All right. So the first question is, why are hash graphs so hard for devs to work on and build code for?
Timing.
It's
always a clock problem with these.
Mm.
That's my hunch.
Good
anyway.
answer.
My intuition.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Go ahead, Zach.
Go ahead, Wayne. Oh,
I was going to say that it's the money. Follow the money. They're just, the traditional blockchain that we always talk about it was a first mover advantage, and it gained all the attention, and they weren't thinking about speed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it got all the new devs that were coming into the space were learning how to code in that arena. And in that space, and not in the arena with Hashgraphs.
They also came on the scene in the middle of sort of like a cultural misassumption about the purpose of blockchains, right? The immutability and raw sort of unstate manipulable elements of blockchains were really questions answered about DAGs and Hashgraphs in their construction, right? They were attempts to make it so that the politics of building such things in the context of things like money or other regulated spaces wasn't as big of a deal, right? The first use case kind of colored how people think about hash graphs in a way that makes them try to solve problems with hash graphs that you would be better off solving with the blockchain. And you sort of, there are people trying to compromise on the efficiencies of blockchains by going backwards and looking at concepts we actually kind of had before that didn't give us the strict Byzantine fault tolerance that a proper blockchain actually gives us with the immutability and finality of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I'll just add, it seems like with the hash graph, what could make it a little more difficult is it's like piecing together a puzzle. In my opinion, this is just my perspective. I don't know if y'all agree, but like, it's just it looks like it's more piecing together a puzzle. So you got to find this piece, and does it fit here? I mean, and it makes it a little bit more.
Pieces are all coming at you on a really fast conveyor belt, right?
Yeah, that's it. Well, yeah. Yeah.
So if you want to fit 2 together, you have to like preternaturally snag one and snap it onto the one you're building. Otherwise, it's gonna fly by.
Yeah,
right?
like Tetris, basically. You got to be able to put it in place quick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's that is a major programming challenge because you're already dealing with an internal sense of time as the graph advances, because like you can think of each step as a time step. But you also have this external clock sort of trying to calculate transactions per second and optimize for speed, because that's, to a certain degree, why people try to foist these into blockchain-like use cases, is they're trying to do blockchain, but fast, right? Or high throughput. And what they end up doing is struggling against the problem that blockchains were sort of invented to solve. Using a tool that was almost there but not quite, and the performance payoff is something that people who develop blockchains actually already made quite intentionally. So it's
Great
really hard
point.
to work on it in the decentralized space because people are already going to treat this like a second-rate solution or older tech to a certain degree, even though sort of came out of it as a thing that we did. The ideas here were easier to get at.
I don't know when the first Hashgraph kind of popped onto the scene and ended up on the Coin Market Cap, when that was the only Coin Market Cap was the only place to really see the list of projects. But I don't know when the first one came up, but I would probably venture to guess that when, in 2012, 2014, the majority of the, people using blockchain or like say Bitcoin, this is even before Ethereum existed, they weren't really talking about transactions per second and being able to try to compete with MasterCard or Visa, but as adoption grew and people were starting to talk about it being a currency and using it as a currency to compete with the dollar or the Japanese yen or wherever, then people start realizing, well, we got a transaction speed problem. And I think the people with Hashgraphs were thinking, well, we got a speed answer, but it was like you said, it's difficult to get that Lego block on another Lego block when it's zooming past you so quickly. And it's difficult timing, to time it, to build on, etc. And the other majority part of the market was already growing like gangbusters, and new projects were popping up every week or every month, way back when, not like several a day, or thousands a day, whatever it is now. But and so Hashgraphs just never took hold, and it was a completely different mindset.
Yeah.
But boy, talk about speed though. Man.
Yeah.
No, I would say they haven't taken hold yet. I would say they haven't taken hold yet, right? Like, it's more like we haven't squared with the fact that not every use case needs to be as secure as money.
True.
And so like if we want to do stuff that needs speed but doesn't need that kind of security, then some of these things become really, really awesome solutions where a blockchain would be too heavy.
Right. Think about zero transaction costs too.
Yeah.
That was like, going back to like say, well, I know it's different, but Nano was, it didn't cost you anything to send anything. To send money, it was zero transaction fee.
Well, and that's actually, it's counterintuitive, but it's actually good for the economics of a token to not sort of leak forced value in some kind of transaction cost lost, right? Because when you think about Bitcoin, it gets really, 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 really close to sort of this perfect form of money where you don't have value leaking out sort of by dint of uncertainty. But you do have a forced sell pressure because there's a cost on the miners. You can think of mining as a tax on the overall value of the currency because you can't build it perfectly without any forced spending because the miners have to spend what they get rewarded. And so value leaks out by sort of an inflationary, I mean, it's capped, right?
Yeah.
With Bitcoin, but you still have to treat that as a value leak, right? Ultimately. And so like with things like this, you wouldn't necessarily leak value because the zero transaction cost. So you might be able to build a thing here that holds water better than Bitcoin does if you could address the problems with security that come from the sort of the absence of immutable finality with mathematical precision.
Anyone else want to add to this question? Why are devs hard to build?
Well,
on?
I just wanted to say real quick, when HBAR launched was in 2019. That was right after that kind of, and Bitcoin was in the middle of trying to stabilize and push up to, I can't remember how much it was, like, just a second. Yeah, up to like $60,000. And anyways, it's the reputation would have been a little harder for them to maintain and get their name out there because everyone's losing their mind about what's going on in the crypto scene financially. I mean, everyone's calling everything a shitcoin and everything. So,
yeah. Good point. Good point. Follow the money, right?
Follow the money. That's basically where it
Hashgraphs
comes down to.
also maybe have a more brittle time standing up, over long periods, right? Like the coolest part about Ethereum and Bitcoin is that they've almost never, if ever, been down. Like there's been no downtime on ETH.
Right.
I think in its entire history. For example, right? Like this isn't something that you can as easily do when Byzantine fault tolerance isn't so conclusively solved.
Right. Well, we kind of talked about this question already, but I just threw up Nano here because the phrase was zero fees, instant payment, eco-friendly, because it required so little energy.
Mm-hmm.
That was such an awe.
The question is, why aren't DAGs more popular since to transact on them is essentially free to do so? Isn't this how cash works? It's free to transact with someone with cash. So if Greg here has a dozen eggs and I got $5 and we agree on a price of $5 in Nano, I send Nano to Greg's wallet and he gives me the dozen eggs, and there was no fee with that.
Well,
it would be the same as me handing a $5 bill to you, because there is no cost other than the energy for me to extend my hand and for you to take it from me, right?
I would say
Well,
the cost is
think
actually
that,
still there, but it's embedded in the value creation of the trade, right? Like,
true.
Technically, there's a transaction cost and opportunity cost to engaging in a transaction with anyone, and this is just the nature of
that's
trade.
That's where we get into the trouble. I mean, the opportunity is there to make sure the money flow goes up. So I think people forget the benefit that it could have technologically and utility wise, and scurry like devs scurry to just make the money flow and make it into a get rich quick scheme for themselves, rather than behold to what technology we can evolve from.
Right.
Well, the tax too is in unitizing it, right? Like if you wanted to buy a dozen eggs for $5, great. But if you wanted to buy 13 eggs for $5 plus a 12th of $5, whatever that is, because I can't do math really fast, then you'd be breaking the way that the transaction cost works for the person bundling it, right? So it puts a lot of seller power without a lot of reciprocal buyer power in the hands of into the network, I guess, when you build it like this. So not formalizing the cost of the transaction just puts that on the buyer, which actually puts some subjective disincentive into playing, I think.
But when you put in that perspective of 7 transactions per second versus 1,000, and then look at where you get fees of, say, a Bitcoin or Ethereum, over $100 to transact on those blockchains, and Nano here is free. It has a lot of validity.
A better system for buying a stick of gum, for example. Where it doesn't matter if somebody's selling you a fake stick of gum for 25 fractions of a cent or whatever, right? You can you can go ahead and buy a second one because transactions are happening so fast.
I used to say, if you want to become a quick millionaire, then find something that you can sell for a penny and transact on Nano.
It's actually a really awesome idea.
It's volume. And that's the other thing. That's what was nice about the DAG is more people on it means it's more secure.
Right. It's really good for selling stuff that's not scarce in any meaningful sense.
Yeah.
What can you sell for a penny, though?
Sean, I know you. Oh, I'm sorry.
You could sell RPC requests for that if you got efficient enough. Actually, you could sell them profitably for that if you got efficient enough.
Yeah. Sean, I know you've dealt with Nano before and talked about it before. What were your impressions of it back in the day, in its heyday, shall we say?
I don't know. I thought DAGs were really interesting. I think maybe now that we're in this second renaissance or whatever, where people are starting to learn about blockchain again, or it's becoming a buzzword again, that people will take a second look at these different ways to transact. But like you said, it's and it's fair but not fair. Like Hedera got like anything back in those days. You could just say, "Hey, I have an ICO," and people would just throw hundreds of millions of dollars, not millions, but like tens and hundreds of millions of dollars at you. So I don't know why. I think a lot of things were just cash grabs. So hopefully this time around, people will focus on expanding the technology instead of just expanding their wallets.
Right. I remember, I've said this on the show before. I remember moving like 10,000 IOTA from Tokyo to my home on a Sunday morning or something, and it was instant, and it didn't cost me a penny, and I was like, wow, it's amazing, and I was like, why isn't the world caught on to this? How come it's not happening faster? I couldn't grasp that concept. Why is the world moving so slow? And then in my day-to-day life before that, I was approving wire transfers that were taking hours, or get a problem and then throw in an international wire. Oh my gosh. I was dealing with those problems. And then I fall into the crypto world, and years later, here I'm moving $10,000 from Tokyo to my home instantly without even a fee. It's like, wow.
I think we've also
waking up to this.
We've also now become like that Louis C.K. bit where people are complaining about their phones, and he's like, dude, you have this device in your pocket that can do all this stuff, and you're like, oh, it's taking 8 seconds.
You're referencing his famous Wi-Fi goes down on the airplane. This is bullshit.
Yeah,
you're in a chair in the sky, man.
Yeah, you're in a chair in the sky, and you're complaining because something's taking 5 seconds instead of 2. Because I mean, that was the whole pitch of XRP.
Yeah.
Was it's literally, if you want to send $10,000 from Tokyo to Florida, it's faster for you to take the $10,000 and get on a plane and fly from Tokyo to Florida. And and XRP can do it in seconds or minutes, and it costs 50 cents instead of $1,200.
Substantially lower risk of civil asset forfeiture if the only possible vector for them interdicting you is KYC, right? Because that system sucks at catching stuff. But airports are a lot better at cops taking your cash.
Yeah. All right, so I think our conclusion to the answer is that just people are stupid. They don't use DAGs and transact for free.
I would say that they don't multi-thread things well, right? It's hard for people to realize they might need a toolkit with 5 different sizes of wrenches, plus a toolkit with screwdrivers, plus a toolkit with ratchets, because they think in terms of the tool that you put in front of them. So if you give them a different tool for a similar purpose, they're like, what am I supposed to make of this? Do you consider me a mechanic? The complexity of picking the right tool for the right thing is something that the tool builders kind of have to do now.
I think a lot of people don't know about screwdrivers. Like they are using knives from the kitchen drawer for everything, and you like, here's a screwdriver, and like, oh my god, this makes things so much easier. And then that's here's a blockchain, and then like a month later, you're like, what are you doing with that knife again? Oh, these are different screws. Oh, here's a Phillips head. What? There's a Phillips head. So there's different screwdrivers for different
screws. Wait till I tell you about Torx. And have you seen the Allen wrench brigade? Right, like it's awesome.
Shout out to the right wing from Nintendo.
Shout out to the Allen wrench brigade.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Everything
have
is being
metric
made
Allen
with
wrenches
and
imperial Allen wrenches too that look almost identical but aren't.
So what hold on, look, quick question. What is up with the advancement of everything that needs an Allen wrench in today's world?
What's the difference between an Allen wrench?
It's a piece of bent aluminum, basically. It's really easy to make.
What's the difference between an Allen wrench and a hex key?
Well, it's because if these don't have hex keys.
The hex key looks like a wind-up toy thing. That's the only difference. Like it has wings that you twist instead of just like screw you, your thumb's going to hurt.
I thought it was like an L. They were all the same. They were the same.
I figured it's probably cheaper just for them to keep it in that way in China.
And we've come full circle to the soda.
Probably.
An Allen wrench is like a hex key without one bend that it needs. Like it needs to, branch out.
Sean just nailed it. We came full circle to the soda and the pop and the Coke.
Same thing, just called different stuff.
And YouTube just copyright struck us for the music.
You also just won for the timing on that one, my emperor, because that was perfect.
Thanks. All right. So moving on to I think it's that was it. That was all of our questions.
No way.
We only had the 3.
Boo.
Well.
Come on.
Well,
Come
we
on,
did go for
people.
an hour though, right? Like we're actually kind of.
Yeah, we're right at the hour mark. So, now we come on, you got to admit the conga line is much more fun.
It is.
Than the rumor mill that's probably false, that Zach is not
this
pregnant.
video is going to be huge, very huge.
But I am. Men can get pregnant according to Apple.
Yeah, and
This
according
video is going to be huge, very huge.
Oh, that was a good one, Sean.
Nice.
What is a woman?
That we'll get that in the.
Just don't try to search it using one of the AI browsers.
Oh, really? I haven't tried that.
I was
Which
seeing
one, Gemini?
OpenAI released something. I think it's called Atlas or something like that. What was it?
No? You said, bro.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. So someone was like opening the browser and like, look up videos of Hitler. And it's like, I'm sorry, I can't do that, Dave. Right? Like, because showing images of and videos of Hitler is apparently not what the internet is allowed to do anymore.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh shoot! I wish we had one for Zach and Andrew and Joe.
I mean,
it'll come eventually.
Someone needs to make one.
I mean, GIF me on this one.
All right. Well, let me remove this. I guess it's time. Is there anyone else want to make any comments about these different blockchains?
About Zach and Andrew.
I'm scared.
Did that say throbby?
Ugly.
You ugly.
No, you are gay.
Ugly.
Oh, you are gay.
You are gay.
You are gay.
How do you know I'm gay?
Why are you gay?
Joe, where are you? We need you. We've gone astray.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
I mean,
okay. I guess we've hit the 100 mark, and we're at the 1 hour mark.
Nice.
So
well,
let's move on to current events.
I mean, to apply what we're talking about today, like which of these three could be a better usage for the fiasco that occurred earlier this week with AWS to kind of keep it from going haywire again?
Great question.
That's a really good question.
Well, did you? What did y'all? What did y'all hear? The reason for that was. Well, why did it all go down? Because I can tell you what they're saying in the tech world here in Austin.
Oh yeah,
are they saying the same thing that we're thinking? That it's a competence crash?
No,
where it's
I
literally
swear,
just degradation of competence.
I swear, this is what
DEI.
this is what Dell, and Tesla are telling the employees. A shark chewed through a line, and that's what did it. That
sounds like bullshit.
I was like,
that is
you guys
bullshit.
know that's a lie, right? And they're like, no, it's what they told us to work.
Yeah, and it was a shark in Nebraska.
It's like, yeah, that happened.
Yeah, and it hit the East region.
Well, they don't want to admit. Yeah, they don't want to admit that it is just sheer incompetence with the fact that they've skeleton crewized everything and dropped.
How many DevOps
software
people did they replace
engineers
with
for automation?
Excitatory LLM apparatuses just recently? Like, did they drop 40% of their DevOps staff this year? Something like that, and replaced it with what they call the AI, which doesn't make judgment calls very well. It's very creative, but if they don't have a human checking it, then there's going to be no intelligence guarding it from just putting hallucinations into the console, right?
Well, it's still a green environment, so
there's always ways to adapt.
Yeah, the question is, was the AWS failure, was it sinister or was it incompetence?
Is there a difference?
I think you can. There is. There is a difference, but you can also be very sinisterly incompetent. Like, this is designed to show the incompetence out, so that the central planners of the tech and AI world can actually expand into a safety protocol mechanism to consolidate. Like, Palantir wins in this scenario. Let's just put it that way.
Let me make a quick case for why competence is, or why incompetence is more malicious than malice in corporate context, right? So you have a company that you're running, you have this thing called fiduciary duty, and the board of directors is supposed to put someone in the role that takes care of the company's interests first. And if that person sucks at what they do and they're stupid, then they will make confident choices wrongly, right? And when the company screws it up and they see that things have gone awry, the CEO will throw his hands up in the air and go, I had no way to know. Well, that's really kind of you admitting you weren't suited for the role, which you were supposed to do under your fiduciary duty if you were actually following it.
Right.
So really it's kind of like a malicious appointment of incompetence versus malice directly, right? So the CEO wants to screw with you because he knows what he's doing that well. At least you've got a competent CEO. So the fiduciary duty aspects, the investors are still protected, but or at the very least, you have somebody to blame for the reason they're not. An active malicious breach of fiduciary duty is criminal, right? But negligence in fiduciary duty is also problematic when it comes to whoever appointed that leader, and that would be the board in most cases. So, like, who's at fault here? The board for being sort of blithe about the quality of people they appoint, or is it the CEO who snuck in there and got malicious on people and tried to screw over the world? I think it's probably far more likely the former, but that doesn't make me feel more comfortable. It makes me feel worse, right?
Well, I mean, you got to think. I mean, you see over the last couple of years that there have been people pushing to get rid of the social justice warrior bullcrap that's been going on in corporations, right? And they've been protesting them objectively and targetedly. And that's not really a word, but they've been targeting they've been targeting them, and they've been successfully upheaving, getting rid of the crap that they're pushing, like men and women's bathrooms and all that other crap. And so, there's not really, they're asleep at the wheel.
Exactly.
Is that Zach or is that Sean? It's got to be Zach.
Probably Zach.
I wish it was. I really do wish it was me.
You know what? I didn't refresh our questions, and there was another question that we skipped over.
Oh,
I apologize, and well, they just stopped.
That should be a triple. That should be triple lot.
I don't want to bring it up because then I got to share a lot with them. And I am the emperor, and I am hosting the show. You know, I guess we could take a vote. So should we bring up Kif's Crypto's question about DAGs?
Yes.
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 We got 1 vote. We got 2 votes. We got 3 votes. Sean, do you yes?
You can do it.
All right. I will agree. All right. He asks, question: what is the fundamental property that makes DAGs so useful?
Decentralization.
Anybody?
It's
Anybody?
the acyclical nature of it. Actually, what the acyclicality of it really means is that essentially, since the transaction recipient is the full validator, right? That the network can move out of sync off of a local to application clock. It makes building off of it a lot simpler in terms of managing timing.
Right. I agree with that, and I'll add. It goes back to our nano discussion and our IOTA discussion. You know, the Internet of Things. If machines are going to talk to one another, or report back, you know, their status, then you want a free transaction. You want that to be free, because the machine, you're not going to want to load a wallet on every machine, right, to cover its transaction cost. So that's one. And it's 1,000 transactions per second, so it's fast. It can scale, and that's
plus no empty blocks, right? It's not running when there's nothing.
No blocks. No
and
blocks.
You can implement the technology aspect with. I'm going to use William's words here. The whisper of the crowd element.
You can think of like block times and DAGs compressing to like a Planck unit, basically, or like a computational tick, right down to that scale when there's nothing in it, right? It's still running, I guess, right? But the graph's getting zero information added to it, so the update cycle just passes, and so you get the sort of acyclicality. But like, juxtapose that to blockchains that have a set block time. Like, how often does an Ethereum block get emitted? Right, that's 10 seconds. We all know the answer, right? But you can't know that with a DAG. That gives it utility also, though.
It shouldn't be expensive to ping another computer just for basic information.
Yeah, exactly.
You say ping? Oh, I remember those days. I remember when there's about 3. Well, they're probably gone now, but there was about 3 or 4 computers in my school computer lab. I nuked. Got a hold of their IP addresses, nuked them. So awesome.
Oh no! Is that a copyright strike?
Probably.
I can guess where that came from, actually. So yeah.
Is that from Perry Mason?
Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy, yeah. Ren and Stimpy.
I thought it was before that. I thought they borrowed it from somebody.
The muted coronet is the giveaway for Ren and Stimpy.
But anyway, it's a great question. Thanks, Kif's Crypto. All right. Back to what's in the news. Is the government still shut down? Is it going to be?
Yeah, as far as I know, they're still trying to negotiate.
I keep forgetting that happened.
I did too. It's so weird.
The sky is clear, so yes.
It's so odd that it's been shut down for so long. It's like, I keep seeing posts or someone's like saying something on the news and it's so terrible. I was like, wow, it is. I forgot. I don't know, man. It's like the longer it goes, the more, like we always say, people are making parallel systems, or they're like you said, William. They're at least seeing, this isn't viable anymore. This isn't something you can trust in.
Yep.
It's not a solid job anymore, which is a lot. That's like the that's been the reason for the government job for so long. Even you can make more money in the private sector, but
Also,
it's
right.
more secure and the benefits are good.
Yep.
And now,
and as a bonus, like you can't be judged against performance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I hear they're trying to negotiate to bring Snap back up.
No, it's possible. It's possible.
The likelihood is they will fund that, but not by reopening the government. That's my prediction.
Yeah. That is something interesting because it's like the military and other things, they keep doing these one-off steps to, oh, that's important, we'll take care of that. Oh, that's important, we'll take care of that. And if it goes on long enough, you're going to get to where all these super essential things are taken care of, and there's less and less reason to reopen the monster. It's like, hey, the military's paid, the parks are taken care of, this is done, WIC is taken care of. There's so, like, what do we, really need to do?
Yeah.
So it's basically, when it comes to like libertarian and conservatism, there's really opening the government's kind of an enemy. It's as long as they're working towards like one-stop things and taking care of what's super important, then we can see how small the government could be.
Right.
True.
Well, technically, shutdown is right now, at least how this one's happening, the exact model of what it would look like if we started living within our means budgetarily. Because right now the government can only operate off of received revenues as opposed to borrowed money, right? Because the borrowing machine is what's broken by the shutdown. They can't make the formal request, so the people who can print the money can't print it for them officially, and that's the problem.
Darn.
But so the way the government runs right now, it's like that's what it can afford. This is what we'd have if we were on budget. All the things that are gone are things we cannot afford.
Yeah. I heard something about is it true if it's closed for 61 days, on day 61, Trump can just fire people without any pushback? Can't be stopped.
He can do that already, technically.
He could, yeah.
Well, yeah, but it gets caught in the court.
You can't handle the truth.
At 60 days, the court-based interdiction effort will be impossible, basically, because the court will evaluate the government shutdown as a long-term impasse, and the president reacting by saying this is an emergency, we've got to save money, is actually accurate at that point.
Now, I'm going to argue, kind of push back, that the states and cities and counties are going to start feeling it because they also rely on grant money from the government.
And that's what I mentioned yesterday on our show, Greg and Ed. Remember, like the states, how they operate, and it reciprocates down like a domino effect to the counties and the cities and the towns. The states operate off of the federal budgets of the borrowing and the inflation, the money printing. It all goes in tandem. So you're going to see a lot of the states that take in more federal funding that are really going to hurt. But all the states on the way down to the local level, they're going to be feeling it within the next 30 to 60
But isn't
days.
that kind of the same thing we're talking about? There's here in Texas, there's a fucking county that sent $4 million to, no, it's not a county, it's a town.
Town
that sent $4 million to Israel.
Yeah,
I remember hearing about
and the people said, "Hey, we don't have anything against Israel, but we're a town, for God's sake. This is our tax money. We want our $4 million to go to our fire department, our police department here." And
theoretically,
the governor said, you can't do that. It's illegal. You have to do it. So it's insane. And if that kind of stuff stops, I mean, there's basically my point is there's so much waste on every level of government that as it trickles down, like you were talking about, it's kind of going to fix a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
It probably could, and then and you're going to see localities and people within those localities realize that oh, we can actually maintain for ourselves and divorce even from our local government. I mean, that's the benefit.
It also makes people that are apathetic, kind of forces them to take notice. How much does your county commissioner make? How much does your school board members make? Nobody knows.
Too much.
You don't know that. You don't know that. You honestly don't know that. Can you tell
Oh,
me?
I actually do know. In my county, they make way too much.
What do they make? Do you know the number?
Oh, they make upwards of like $200,000 to $500,000
for a school board member. Jeez.
Yeah.
Here, our in Texas, our
for the school board,
congressmen don't make that much. There's because it's not meant to be a full-time job, is what the thing is.
Right.
Yeah.
But if people will start asking those questions, because it's like, whoa. You're telling me I can't have this. You're gonna have to fire, a third of the police force. How many of you bureaucrats are going to be fired? How much do you make? You make twice as much as a cop. So if we get rid of one of you, we could actually hire 2 more cops. What? People will start taking an interest, because right now they just don't care. It's like, whatever. I got what I need. I have my Netflix and beer. I got my bread and circus. This is affecting the bread and circus.
Well, the cost of the bread and circus is going up too, so they're starting to think about everything that's being spent right now.
Do I need food? Do I need electricity? Do I need oil and gas? Or do I want to watch the next Load Them Rings on Netflix?
Or are we going to get to day 61 and we're all hurting because there's no more money flowing through the economy? The velocity of money is slowed way down. That technocrats bring in CBDC in the form of, USDC.
I think if it goes too much longer, people are going to notice a sudden drop in prices at the grocery store as the Cantillon effect of the local disbursement of printed money ceases.
Oh, I hope. I hope it moves more people into, bartering. In my area, I kind of, it's kind of one of those quirky things in my head. I always look at, when I'm driving around on a Saturday morning, especially, I look at how many yard sale signs or garage sale signs do I see. And if you're starting to see a lot, usually people are like, well, we got to sell some stuff around here just so we can pay our electric bill or prepare, get some food on the table. And you start seeing a lot more. It's kind of a barometer, a local barometer of how your economy is doing locally.
So what you're saying is less people are going to spend the exponentially too high of tickets for a WWE match and just start putting on their own WWE shows.
Are you ready for this Sunday?
Yeah.
I am. John Cena defends his title in the WWE Super.
Now that got copyrighted.
Yeah. Is that Andrew? Andrew, what are you doing?
That's not me. I swear.
It's Andrew. I'll look at it. It's Andrew. I see the guilt on his face. Andrew, you're poor liar.
I'm not gonna lie.
You're a poor liar. I saw you move your hand and the click. I heard the click off of your microphone, and then it started playing.
I was.
I believe it. I believe it. I think
microphone on FFM.
Andrew, don't lie. You're the only one here. You're the only one here with the WWE match on the second screen.
Can I get a show of hands and think that Andrew's playing that in the background? Oh, Andrew,
either that or Satoshi Sean is deviously messing with him.
Andrew, by the kindness of my heart, as your emperor, I brought you back to the stage.
Thank you, my liege.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anyway, can we do a sponsorship break here for a second? I got to show you this. Our sponsor today is we have a vote proposal for World Blockchain Roundtable for the month of November. We must pick our themes. There will be 4 themes, and there were 3 submitted that were basically Thanksgiving, being grateful for. So they've been combined into one. But shall we go through these real quick, gentlemen?
Yeah, let's do
Remember,
it.
everybody
Let's do
watching,
it.
this is a blockchain-based DAO podcast where you, as participants in the show, earn lot, and that lot means you can vote on questions. Each question is a poly market. You can vote on themes that you want the panelists to discuss. And let's go over the list real quick. Do you mind?
See if it pays off for
Sure.
I my apologies. We didn't do this at the top of the show. I forgot. First up is, what was your first blockchain and cryptocurrency that you fell in love with? We got one vote so far for that one. Systems that should use blockchain and not centralized databases. Wow.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. What does blank work? No, how does blank work? Technical questions for the panel. My room is not working correctly.
Yeah, we can help you fix the foot pedal on your computer that's actually a mouse.
Yeah. My symbols on my drum set are a little off. How do I? No, just kidding. Okay. As any blockchain technology, software code, and computer science question. Wow. That might be a good one. Someone's going to submit their code, and we're going to have to debug it for them. I don't know if I want to vote for that one.
I don't know how to program, so I couldn't debug.
Also, this next one is also a good one. The next
Wrong answers only. The sequel. Dun dun dun.
Yes.
Where's the music? Dun dun dun. Oh, that was good.
Episode.
Wrong answers only.
That was a fun episode.
I would have to say I hate my government.
Right? Wrong answers.
Thank you.
Depend. The Depend deep dive is also another. That'd be another good one.
That is
dive
a good
into
one.
Depend a little bit.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Can whoever's doing that play the weenie in the butt intro now?
Yes. Weenie in the butt.
Oh, someone is. Oh, Greg, it must be you, because you just called it. You manifested it. You're controlling the sound.
He controls the levers of power.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's a dictator.
What he's doing is he's just
the
farting
heretic.
and it's making the noise.
Right.
You can't handle the truth.
Is
sorry guys,
dead?
that was me farting.
Oh, is
Right.
privacy dead?
Yes.
I just voted for that one. So.
Oh, good. Can blockchain keep AI honest?
That's also a good one, and I might vote for that one.
I voted for this one. I really like
dude.
this idea. A blockchain
mad at what
DAO
they did to that
became a
movie.
cabinet position at the White House.
Then there would be
That's
no
gonna be
government.
an interesting thing to explore, I think.
Yeah.
A blockchain DAO became a cabinet position at the White House. Imagine a humanoid robot that's plugged into a DAO that we all are posting what we believe is, our number one issue.
It'd be
And
pretty
it
awesome.
summarizes it, and in the cabinet, it's the pulse of the people right there in the cabinet. I love the idea. What happened to
funny thing
Sean?
about that? Where'd he go?
We lost Sean.
It was
Sean,
probably when
what?
you played that Dune intro.
What Dune intro? What are you talking about?
Anyway, I like that one. I voted for that one. Thanksgiving, bring food that represents their favorite crypto and tell us what tech you are grateful for. Okay, it got cut off.
I like that one too. That one's a good one.
Well, yeah, we got to do a Thanksgiving theme for Thanksgiving.
But
right?
that I think that's just a no-brainer. We don't need to vote for that. Let's just do it.
Yeah, we can do an audible. Now, here's an interesting thing. If you are a nano person and transactions are free, would that mean that you did a dumpster dive, at your favorite restaurant, pulled out free food, and brought it to the show?
Yes.
Just saying.
Well, except for in that
Yes.
case, right? The security system wouldn't be there to try to stop you. No, you wouldn't even have to sneak it in. You would just walk in with your food.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. blockchain time machine. What would you change? Maybe I'd change the fork wars.
It's a good one.
That is a good one.
Imagine if you could go into back into the future. Back in the future.
I mean, to be fair, that was Back to the Future Day was 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah, it was, huh?
To the future, Marty.
Yeah.
I love how the whole world has this idea that time's in the world instead of human minds.
This book wouldn't be written. Roger probably wouldn't be, had to have been extorted for $48 million.
49.
By the way, do you think he paid it in Bitcoin, or do you think he cashed it out to fiat and gave them fiat?
I hope he gave them fiat, but probably not, because then he'd have to pay tax on the taxation cash out.
Yeah, that's true.
They might have made him do that, actually.
They probably did
Insult
do.
to injury. You have to use a U.S. exchange that's approved.
I mean, that works too.
We want cap gains on your late payment that we decided to extort from you.
Yeah. All right. Using blockchain to determine AI outputs are fact or fiction. That's a good one. Fixing the economy with blockchain.
That is.
I want to combine that one with the time machine one because I was just watching mentioned Bulbug the other last night and tonight, and he was talking about how basically the economy's been cooked since the 1700s, and that I think you could combine those two as a solution to that particular.
See, I'm kind of more inclined
for America or for the world.
I think it was for America.
Well, I mean, he's not wrong because I mean, as the Constitution. After the Constitutional Convention and the advent of the bank, I mean, the banks took control through land speculation, granting, and regulations. He's not wrong. The economy kind of tanked there. We had a little bit of a small window between like 1835 and 1860, but after that, it just went back to the banks.
Well, I mean, that's partially true, but that's quibbling on the fringes, right? Because during that time, the Industrial Revolution happened, and that was basically unbridled free market exchange because the systems to bridle it hadn't even been developed. Feudalism tore itself down over the fact that capitalism outpaced it, essentially. The burghers destroyed the oligarchy inclusion with the kings, and that's how we ended up with constitutional monarchies in Europe, right? The United States anomaly, the kingless United States anomaly was actually not even really that much of a kingless anomaly because we immediately got free and then appointed ourselves a new king, right?
Right.
But so I kind of wonder if maybe that needs to be, that last one needs to be like fixing blockchains with economics rather than fixing the economy with blockchains. Because it's really a matter of philosophical application that we're missing rather than a technical application.
Let's apply Mises and Hayek. I hate to say that, but Hayek
you got
and Menger.
Why not? Why not?
Well, I mean, that's actually. Can we talk about this one? Because I'm really curious what you guys think. What do you think the ins and outs are of like competing currency, right? You hear all these arguments for like, well, what's the it's not Metcalfe's law, but the inverse of it. What's that one called? The one that everyone uses for Bitcoin maximal arguments. Where one currency dominates and the rest flood out.
Yeah.
Oh, what is it?
What is it?
It's based on the heuristic that bad money chases out good.
Yeah.
Or good money chases out bad or whatever.
Yeah.
No, it's bad money chases out good in that case.
People spend the bad money and to save the good money. Yeah.
Right. Only though if the system's bounded. So legal tender laws cause that inversion. If you take away legal tender laws, then good money drives out bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
Well,
I'll give you that one.
Yeah. You can't argue with that logic.
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
So was it
as contentious as I thought?
Was it Rothbard that asked the question, do you hate your government?
I believe so, yeah.
Or was it Mises? Why am I drawing a blank on that? I need more coffee.
I don't think anybody that I've ever read says anything about hating government, right? That just doesn't happen. It's not possible.
There's one that
I believe Rothbard.
The more we bag on it, it means we love it more.
Wrong answer.
Well, was it something omnipotent government, book by Mises? Yeah, something like that.
You know what this no King's Day and all that?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I've been thinking about how weird people are that are not American, and how we have no understanding of the way that they think. So we really can't talk about it because people don't understand. Because I know I don't understand. We don't get it. We can't think that way.
You can't. You just have to try.
No, it's the thing, dude. We can't. That's what I've figured out. Like Michael Caine used to talk about this. He gets really pissed. He would talk about his mom, and he would say she'd come home and she'd say, "Oh, on the bus today, I saw a real lady," and I'll get so mad at her. I'll be like, "Mom, you're a real lady," and you don't really grasp it, but the way that they think, it's like a ruler is okay, is good. We don't. I don't get it. We don't get it.
Well, yeah, but like you could also totally, but you could totally academically understand cultures, right? Like
I guess
you could go in and like unpack the idioms and do like
you understand it's a thing, but the way of thinking, like if we joke about it and we talk about, hey, when they talk about us peasants, they're actual peasants. That's a real thing.
I will provisionally agree with you, Sean, to the extent that it's very, very, very difficult to do.
If we lived over there, and I would say us peasants, it's a legitimate thing. We are the peasants. There is the royalty. It just, and to us, that's a joke that we're peasants. You know, just the whole way of thinking. It's just boggled my mind. And then I started thinking more how like hooligans, you know, it's like a real serious thing. To us, it's like funny, but like so much of their identity is wrapped. Like I love the Eagles, you know, but I'm not. It's not who I am. But they're so involved in like their sports team that it's like a part of who they are,
right?
And they live it.
Like Rivet's involved with Ethereum, and I build on Ethereum, but I'm not an Ethereum.
Does that explain the rioting even when they win?
I guess it does. That's the thing. We can't. Let's see. I don't understand that. You know, I can understand partying too hard or getting a little wild, but not like
as a lifestyle.
Hurting people. Yeah,
I'm with you, Sean. Actually, because like I remember. As a Browns fan, I remember Cleveland did a big old party parade for when they went 0-16, or it may have been when they went 1-15 to 2 years in a row. They were 1-34, right? So they did like a big old party in the streets and a parade for such a historical run. It's like you're such adamant fans, you're celebrating losing.
Yeah,
well, it's power. It's like power porn though, to a certain degree, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Like that kind of tribal team cheering. Sort of like it's very analogous to party politics, right? Republicans and Democrats. Some Democrats, or some Democrats are probably more like Republicans in the sense that they hew to the values that the platform represents as opposed to the team. Though with populism, with Trump, we've kind of re-injected the whole team mindset to a big degree. A lot of those people are just in it for the team to win, right? Regardless of the outcome. They just want the other team to lose, and that means winning.
They don't realize it's a vulture, same wing, two different.
But what we don't realize, I think, most of all, is that we're sort of like shouting at the TV at home, expecting it to help our team win.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, freedom is to different people. Freedom means different things to different people. So, like, say Russia or China, right? They've got a long history of a revolving door in their government model, and they don't have any stability, so they can't build anything. Yeah, I mean, I know it sucks in China. I mean, it's slavery, but would you, if you were in their shoes, you know, long-term history, would you rather have, you know, some stability through the slavery and then move up eventually like they did now?
Well,
or would you like to
back to Sean's point about not understanding, about
and
not understanding
I'm not
China was about food
promoting
scarcity
that. I'm
up
just
until
saying.
very recently, right? Like food scarcity drives their politics.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Food scarcity does drive their
but
politics.
that drives
and
everyone's
what's-
politics. That
Not
drives
here.
everyone's politics when it gets to a point when food scarcity is a real problem. You know,
Yeah.
when we
we've never
have
had
plenty
a
of
cultural
bread and
backdrop
circus,
of
then we
most
don't
people in
worry
this
about
country
the
being
politics.
starving. Right, that's the difference between us and China. Is that they're used to starvation at scale, and they're terrified of going back to it.
Yeah, it's in their history, their family tales, and lineage.
That's how you can have a communist bureaucracy that actually builds stuff rapidly.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm not encouraging or promoting that stuff. I'm just saying that it's the history, that's the long term, consequence of the environment that they were in. And that's why they say it's freedom.
Andrew once again denies that he's a communist, even though there's still a question.
I'm a heretic, okay? Just like that.
Arguably,
Greg.
China's more capitalist.
You are a
than we
heretic.
China.
China.
Spooner.
Listen.
Honestly, I think it was Murray Rothbard that maybe you could kind of summarize his works as saying he's asking because he's really the anarcho-capitalist, how much do you hate your government? He didn't say, do you hate your government, or ask that question.
Right.
I mean, he wrote the manual. He wrote the little pamphlet manual about it, Anatomy of the State, how it works. And basically, there's no do you hate your government enough than that. So
I think the problem isn't that people hate government. Really, it's that people
they
hate
depend
bad
upon
government.
it.
People
They're gonna
hate
hate
bad
it.
governance.
Yeah.
Right. They hate bad governance, and the problem is it's impossible to build a government like this that doesn't devolve into bad. Maybe right, and we're not really sure if we need a new design altogether to fix things. But
Have you read the questions that people have posed asking AI to design a new form of government?
Dude, I ask it that like 10 times a day.
Yeah, and
I'm
interesting. There's some. I like the when the two AIs are talking to one another and debating or agreeing to certain points, and that question is asked between the two of them. And they've come up with some pretty
like
interesting
a circle jerk
ideas.
in a debate when they get going.
Yeah.
They don't tend to disagree with each other. They tend to just boost each other every turn.
Exactly. But well, anyway, long story short, I think this government shutdown is going to continue. I think it's got weeks left, but I'm not following it closely at all. So I'm relying on
concerted movement to push it to continue, honestly. Because if we can push it for longer, we can break a lot of the associations that people have with this thing working. The bait that people get from politicians to vote for the team, right? The types of giveaways we'll give you with other people's money. All of that stuff is shut off right now. They can't make those kinds of promises credibly if this continues for too long. And that is a problem for the stability of the system, because the whole thing stands on the fact that most of the people that support it are bought off.
Also, I think there's less reason to reopen it for the people in power. Because anything that you fix and that you pay for, you are the savior of. It's literally, creating the situation so you can fix it and be the savior.
Right, but it's always with other people's money, right?
Yeah, I mean, but still, my point is that there's no reason for it to stop, because I fixed WIC. All you women and children, you got your milk and cheese and stuff. You're good. Oh, the military.
I think I just fixed
the military.
government.
They're paid.
Co-pilot did.
Everything that is fixed is because of one side. Everything is the us versus them. So everything that is good is one-sided, and we can blame the left for it being shut down, for everything. But you didn't get your paycheck. Oh, you haven't. There's nothing. You don't have this service. That's their fault. But everything that's good, we got that taken care of. We fixed that for you. So there's no, if you, like William said, follow the money. There's no incentive. There's less incentive to open it and to restart it. And like Greg said, it looks good if you are fixing these things, and the longer it goes, it shows what you don't need.
Right.
Or really what we can't have.
Oh, we can't see. It's all white.
Decentralized authority ledger. Every law, treaty, and executive action is hashed and time-stamped on-chain. No edits. So basically an immutable official act ledger. That makes sense. Smart contract governance. Ministries and agencies operate via smart contracts with predefined. Yeah, exactly. Take out the discretion wherever you can and replace it with plain rules that everybody agrees on by consensus. Yeah, love that. Right. Yeah. I didn't see the third one.
And here's another one that it gave me. It added obedience to innovation, deployment driven governance. So innovation mandate tokens. Citizens earn IMTs by contributing to verified innovation, tech, agriculture, education, etc. IMTs grant voting weight, not just a voice. So
do me a favor and ask it if we should also renormalize all the deadlines to adjust them for modern times technologies as opposed to 1776 technologies, and if that would help. That was the one I asked it that I thought was really mind-blowing. Like, yeah, actually, if we just cut the deadlines, that we'd put less bullshit in the empty space, because we still operate on deadlines we invented for things to be resolved quickly at the time of horses and carriages and no phones. Like, we now fill up all that time with like as much communication as we can stuff into an argument. So you end up with litigation that's like, hey, can we see 10,000 files? You know?
Yeah, it says yes if the goal is tactical governance, not sentimental reenactment. Why 1776 deadlines collapse in modern deployment. 1776 protocol, static cadence versus dynamic threat. 1776 protocols were built for slow-moving legislative cycles. Modern threats, cyber, economic, ideological require real-time confrontation and adaptive cadence.
Real-time confrontation. Wow.
So imagine going to court over a defamation suit, and the automated judicial system solves that as fast as it can. 10 seconds, like present your evidence. If you don't have it, sorry.
Then it's
you should have come to court more prepared.
Right. Just like in 1776.
Want to waste money on appeals for the other side? Sorry, you can't. They're just going to do the appeals in line.
Yeah, you're effectively making, like, we have the technology. You can have court automated and from Zoom, and they started doing Zoom calls during
Imagine
COVID,
if you didn't have to have money to avail yourself of process because it was so efficient.
Yeah, and that, like, that goes without saying. Like, the setup that we have now, like, say you have court for a defamation hearing, you have to wait. You literally have to go to the court or wait for the judge to get to the town to convene, and so you better be ready, because he ain't going to be there all day. So, like,
right. And he's not got time for you to do 10,000 discovery queries to a company that makes them have to settle, because otherwise they're going to have to disassemble their database and give each other anal MRIs on live TV. Right?
Anal MRIs. That's a good one.
It's what everyone would do if they could to prove their innocence.
Right? Yes, everyone would do anal MRIs.
You would just do an anal MRI on live TV if it could prove innocence.
If only I could do anal MRIs, I'd do them all day.
Oh, man.
Do it.
No.
Nothing like an anal MRI.
Prove me wrong. If it could prove
now that needs to be a meme.
You would do it.
Hey.
That needs to be a meme on
Rabbi Smoley would do it. Not even on it. Doesn't even have to be live. He'll just do it. But he would want it to be live because it would make him money.
Yeah.
So he could fund his daughter's porn shop and tell everyone. That sounded just like Rabbi Smuley.
Andrew, what are you doing with that keyboard? What do you keep pulling up that sound?
Can we get
I'm not doing anything yet. I'm trying to figure it out.
Oh, Sean, are you going to do that on Truth Tuesday with Lisa?
Oh, I like this one for what it says. Smart contract expiry windows. Every legislative proposal auto expires unless confirmed, audited, and deployed within a set window, say like 90 days.
Law zero correction. We should make it so that they can't unsunset a thing. That every law, when you try it, has to automatically sunset, and then if it was good enough to keep, you have to reenact it from scratch.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes. 100% on that
Legend.
one.
Wait for it. Dairy. Legendary.
Legendary.
Yeah,
what else?
It's because of the sunset clauses. Like, there's a sunset clause in the Patriot Act, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was the reauthorization where they every year added new bullshit to it that made it worse, as opposed to letting it die, or just like letting it live. Like if they had enacted it and there was no need to reauthorize, there'd be no reason to come back to it to add more, would there?
Yeah. But they hate us for our freedom, so they have to take away our freedom.
You mean DC hates us for our freedom? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change the subject, and this is kind of a deep one, but
terrorists.
The whole Obamacare, it's open enrollment, and people are seeing the new cost for next year, and that's part of the question with the government shutdown. They're not doing anything about it. The system's so broken. Another reason why I think we don't want Canada to come across and become a 51st state, because they're going to say, what's wrong with this healthcare? Our healthcare should be free.
Well, I mean,
but anyway, long story short, that seems to be something that's bubbling to the surface and more people are talking about because they're seeing the cost for next year.
Well, that's because they're trying to put the COVID emergency price back in as permanent. They enacted that terrible bill that nearly sent us into hyperinflation. And this is supposed to be that unwinding, right? We're going back to like normal subsidy on Obamacare exchange plans, like the one before 2020.
I think it's so psycho is that in our time now, the people in power, they're picking and choosing what from that area or era of insanity we keep and we let go. Yeah. Like Greg's talking about that was from this. We're going to do that because we're going to get more money. But my doctor, I'm like, hey, can we do a tele appointment? Because I don't want to drive, 30 miles. And they're like, oh, no, we don't do that. I'm like, why? And they're like, that was just for COVID. It's like so many, they pick and choose like, oh, that was fine for then, but not now. And now, this benefits us. We're going to keep
taking
that
away the emergency spend is over here it's unconscionable, and over here it's necessary.
Yeah, it's just so blatant that they're like, hey, dummy, this is what we're going to do, and you're going to take it.
Well, and if you want an accurate predictor for which ones they're going to want to keep and which ones they're going to want to expunge and jettison right away, just look at it like this: which one made you more free? Those are going to go away. Which one made you more controlled? Those are going to stay if they can get them.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, teleappointments would only ever become a thing if they could make them mandatory pre-appointments that you had to do along with going in, right? Like, then we could have those back, but they wouldn't give us those just, right? Like, we couldn't choose. Right. That's the problem with letting other people pay for your health care. You're not the customer.
Yeah. Well, 2 more minutes. What else is going on in the world? 2 more minutes. Peace in Gaza, Israel. What happened there?
We stopped being able to send checks.
Yeah.
Does anyone else feel like it's weird that both sides are so happy about us?
Well, it gives them an excuse, right?
I think they're terrified of us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
Terrified.
Both sides probably are terrified of us, frankly. Terrified of what we might not do anymore, or terrified of what we might do.
Yep.
It's weird to see it like
because we're funding both sides.
Like, yay Donald Trump and yay America, and crying and doing little heart things with their hand. And
it is a win, though.
Like,
we gotta at least acknowledge it.
It's but it's just it feels like when Greg said that, it kind of clicked. But it's almost like there's somebody off camera, like Americans, like, say this or we'll kill you. If I feel like, they're like, it's not real, like they're being controlled. It's just odd. I don't know. I guess I'm used to seeing negative stuff so much that when people are positive, it's
I would
question
guess
it.
that if you look at leverage points, you can see
Skeptical.
exactly where we're cranking on them.
What's that, Andrew?
They're just being. It makes you want to be skeptical.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, forced peace isn't really lasting peace, you know?
Right.
Well, Netanyahu
storming the castle.
wants it to continue so he doesn't have to, fight for his life on war
Yeah.
crimes, right?
Yep.
He also
To
may be
lose power.
crazy enough to believe that if he can create World War III, that he can bring about the end times, and like he's kind of a nut.
The
in a way.
Antichrist.
To
Gets
a
off
certain
on it.
degree, this guy is motivated by ideology beyond reason.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know, the Jews want to they say that they need to rebuild the temple of the God that's said that you no longer need human or animal sacrifice, whom they believe in their Talmud to be boiling in excrement, is going to let them build a temple, walk in, and everything's going to be peachy. But in reality, the Antichrist is going to walk in and desecrate it. So,
In
like,
reality, the Antichrist is probably the misconception of Revelations as anything other than a diatribe against Roman rule under Nero.
There is
People looked
something
at
that
it
I
like,
wanted
It
to
is.
ask.
There is
Zach
something
about-
about that, actually.
I
There
want
is
to
something
bring up
about
something
that.
for you because it hit me. The Pope, did you see he made a statement and went out and talked about usury and said it
No,
is
I didn't hear
the
this.
most- he said
When?
Yes.
he made a statement 2 days ago. Usury is the most evil thing that has
It
ever
is.
been created. And he's all this stuff about it, which was pointed directly at a certain people. But he made that
Mm.
statement, and then I was thinking, yeah, but the Vatican has its own.
I just
Bank.
wish that people
World Bank.
that criticize interest would understand time preference and transformation over time as an important economic value that we can trade, as opposed to a thing that we should treat as evil. Usury is unreasonably high interest, not supported by the
Hi.
market.
Yes.
But I
Not
can't
support- I
remember.
couldn't hear that. Not supported by what?
Not supported by market conditions, right?
Right.
Like higher
Yeah.
than
So
market
basically-
prices by coercion is
Yeah.
what.
So
usury is.
so basically, if I say Sean, I loan you $20, and I tell you must pay me back at 10%, that's pretty much usury. That is
Right, but
usury.
it's 10.
if
No,
I-
it's not. It's 10% is the cost of trading you now dollars for future dollars, right?
Well, I'm just using
it's
that as a
$10
basic example.
$10
You're
loan that you
right.
can't spend now.
You're right.
And what gives you any incentive to give that?
You're
Because
right. Yeah,
it's the
you're
same
right.
$10,
So
right? Like,
yeah, so actually, to take that, if I were to say you owe me $20 back plus 10%, then that would be fine. But I say you owe me $20, but 800% interest. That's
Or
an
waiting
even better
until
example.
I'm in a
Yeah.
position to where I really like payday loans. We
or
really
like
need
sneaking in
Exactly.
shitty contract
waiting.
terms that let you
Yeah.
add a penalty rate for no good reason.
Yeah.
That
you know?
too. That's usury.
I
it's
don't
theft.
remember the last time the Catholic Church made such a black and white stand. Like the last time they said this is evil and bad and we're against
It's been a
it.
minute.
It's usually like, yeah, this isn't good, but not 100% wrong, black and white, no.
Right.
It
Mhm.
sucks because
I
it's
mean,
hermetic. It doesn't actually get
the
at the problem.
Yeah, like
It's like
the
railing
last
against
time.
evil more broadly.
The last time you could technically, you could go back to Pope Pius XII, with the onslaught of World War II. You could go to Pope Leo XIII and his condemnation of the exploitation of what capitalism was becoming, and the rise of socialism and communism and what it is, which is pure evil. I mean, so there's been times, but where the Pope has stood against certain things that are considered evil within the exploitation. But like, it's been a minute. It's been a minute
What
since.
sucks is
We
the
gotta
whole
stop there,
dialectic
guys.
around it, though. Last point, real
Yeah.
quick, is the whole dialectic around interest as usurious is all just a ruse, right? This is literally an infestation of communist ideal into an organization that used to actually know the difference between usury and reasonably charged interest.
Right.
You know, it's an illusion that's on purpose for the for the aim of taking down capitalism. It's ideology, not religion. It sucks. I hate it.
All right, everybody, we're going to start
prefer
wrapping it up.
agorism.
First, everyone out there, I'd like you to go into Den.Social, and if you're a lot holder in the show, tell us what themes you want us to talk about in November. Go here and cast your vote. So everyone, 15 seconds, 10 seconds, please. Sean, what's happening with you? And then we'll go to Andrew and circle back around to me.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm doing a giveaway for a top of the line hardware wallet. If you're in the United States, you can go and comment with. Make sure you put USA in the comment on the 2 videos I did on the Descent wallet. That's because I'm mailing out one that I have. But there's a second giveaway. That's just go to my Twitter to the post on it and just comment on that, and wherever you are in the world. That's Descent is sending that out, so they'll pay the shipping to send you the wallet wherever you are at in the world. It's a very cool wallet. It's a biometric finger scan.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice wallet. I think it's like
Nice.
$150.
Awesome.
So it's a cool wallet.
I need a new one.
Thanks, Sean. Andrew, how about you? Where can we find you? What's going on in your world?
Hey, we're going to be doing an episode tomorrow again with Greg talking about Law Zero. Check us out 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 Central.
Sweet. Greg, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me at Design Heretic. You can check out Law Zero at the top of my feed on X, and just a little preview of something that I've uncovered recently. I found out that not only can you vibe code anything in pure Python on the chatbot, but you can in fact vibe code using Python QTIP quantum stuff. And thanks to Google's recent little quantum experiment that they just published, you can actually do some pretty interesting experiments about time. So I'm going to be releasing an article and some test code on this that demonstrates relational time as opposed to a universal clock could make quantum computers work, several hundreds of % better if they try it.
Oof, fascinating.
Yeah.
Zach, what say you?
Love your enemies, everybody. Love your neighbor. Love everybody, because and start saying hi to your neighbor. Meet your neighbors and actually try to create something, create a relationship, because it's going to come a time where you're going to need all the help that you can get within your community. So just love your neighbor, and then love your enemy, because you can turn your enemy into your neighbor. So other than that, check us out, The Legacy Right, over on YouTube and Rumble. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, we go live, and then check out The Legacy Right, and give us a follow and a review over on Spotify and Apple.
All right. Thanks, Zach. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We appreciate you. Make sure you check us out next week, World Blockchain Roundtable. We're the longest, oldest DAO-based podcast in the world. Go check us out on did.social, where every post is a poly market. And take a look at Meme Asylum Experiment. It's fascinating stuff over there. With all of that, I appreciate everyone watching. Thank you to the panelists and all your exceptional wisdom that you shared with us. And John McAfee, I miss you, buddy. Take us home.
America's not the government, people. The America is you. It is the Grand fucking Canyon, the Rocky Mountains, the deserts of the Southwest, the Pacific fucking Ocean, the Atlantic fucking Ocean. It is the grandest continent. And what the fuck have you people done? You have turned yourself into sheep, every goddamn one of you.